The morning light spread slowly over the rolling green fields, and the world seemed wrapped in a gentle hush. The dew on the grass shimmered like tiny stars, and the only sound was the soft rustle of leaves moving in the early breeze. In the middle of that peaceful land stood a white horse. His name was Aspen. His mane glowed like silk, the sun, his eyes deep and calm, like still water. Aspen had lived on the farm all his life, and he had known quiet days filled with soft winds and long nights under the open sky. But one day, something changed in his world forever. From the farmhouse came a sound Aspen had never heard before. It was not the sound of wind or rain, or the farmer's voice. It was softer, lighter, like a melody made of sunlight. It was the laugh of a baby. The first time Aspen heard it, he lifted his head, his ears turning, his body frozen, as if trying to understand the meaning of that sound. Something stirred inside him, something warm and new that filled the silence of his heart. The baby's name was Noah. He was small, with golden hair that caught the light like threads of morning. Aspen saw him first when Noah's mother carried him outside, wrapped in a white blanket. She sat near the fence, humming a song while the baby watched the sky. With wide, curious eyes, Aspen stood a few steps away, his head tilted, his breath slow. The baby laughed again, and Aspen took a small step forward, then another, until his shadow fell gently across the child's blanket. From that day, something unspoken grew between them. Every morning Aspen would wait by the fence before the sun had fully risen, and as soon as the farmhouse door opened, his ears would twitch and his tail would move in soft, slow sways. Noah's mother would smile when she saw the horse, waiting, as if he were part of their little family. She would bring the baby closer, and Noah's tiny hands would wave in the air, reaching for the big white figure that always seemed to be watching over him. When Noah was strong enough to sit on his own, his mother would spread a small blanket on the grass near Aspen's field. Noah would crawl toward the fence, his eyes shining. Aspen would lower his head until his nose touched the child's hand. The baby would giggle and pat the horse's nose, his fingers brushing the soft fur. Aspen would stay perfectly still, his great body silent, as if the whole world had gone quiet to keep the moment safe. As the months passed, Noah began to recognize Aspen's voice. When the horse neighed softly from the distance, the baby would laugh and look toward the sound. Sometimes, when Noah cried, Aspen would answer with a low, gentle call, his voice deep and soothing like the wind moving through trees. And every time, without fail, Noah would stop crying and look toward the field, as if he knew his friend was near. They spent many afternoons together. Under the golden sky, Noah would lie on the grass, and Aspen would stand beside him, his shadow stretching over the baby like a shield from the sunbirds. Would land near them, and Noah would reach out, his hands in wonder. Aspen would lower his head to watching the little birds hop around, and for a moment, horse and child shared the same innocent curiosity about the world. Sometimes the farmer would watch from afar, shaking his head in disbelief. He had never seen anything like it. Aspen was known to be proud and distant, but around Noah he became something else, softer, calmer, almost human in his gentleness. He would follow every small sound the baby made, as if the laughter of the child had become his heartbeat. One chilly evening, clouds gathered above the hills, and the wind began to rise. Noah's mother hurried to bring her baby back inside, but before she reached the door, Noah began to cry, his hands stretching toward the field. Aspen neighed loudly, his white mane whipping in the wind, and then, as if understanding the child's fear, he trotted closer until he reached the fence. He lowered his head and blew a warm breath toward Noah. The baby stopped crying at once, his tears turning into a small smile. Aspen's breath mingled with the cold air, forming a little cloud of warmth that wrapped around them like an invisible embrace. That night, when Noah's mother looked from the window, she saw Aspen standing near the fence, facing the house. He stayed there for hours, unmoving, as if guarding the baby's dreams, and when the moon rose high, she could swear she saw him still there, his coat glowing faintly in the silver light. Seasons changed, and Noah grew. He learned to walk his small steps, unsteady and full of laughter, and Aspen was always nearby watching every move. With patient eyes sometimes, the boy would fall, and Aspen would lower his head, as if offering comfort. When Noah ran too far, the horse would follow at a gentle pace, keeping him within sight. Their bond had become something pure and wordless, like a secret that only the two of them could understand. One morning, when spring returned, the fields turned green again, and the air smelled of life. Noah ran toward Aspen for the first time on his own, his tiny feet stumbling through the grass. Aspen waited, his head bent low. When the boy reached him, he wrapped his small arms around the horse's neck and buried his face in the soft, white mane. Aspen closed his eyes, breathing slowly, his great heart steady and full. The wind moved around them softly, and it felt as if the world itself held its breath. From that day, Noah and Aspen were never apart. Wherever the boy went, Aspen followed, through the fields, the streams, the quiet mornings, and even the rainy days. When the world seemed gray, Aspen would lower his head and let Noah rest against him, the warmth of their friendship glowing like light in the mist. Years later, when Noah grew older, he still visited the field every morning. Aspen's mane had begun to gray around the edges, but his eyes held the same calm love, and whenever Noah called his name, Aspen would lift his head and walk toward him, just like he did when the boy was only a baby in a blanket. And though time moved on and the seasons continued their endless circle, the sound of that first baby laugh still lived in Aspen's memory. It was the sound that changed everything, the sound that turned a lonely white horse into a guardian, a friend, a part of a child's heart forever. Please leave a like on this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to The Gentle Bond for more incredible true stories of love, loyalty, and the magic that happens when a pet becomes family.